Let's start lesson 1. Always smile. A smile is a very funny thing. It wrinkles up your face, and when it's gone, you will never find its secret hiding place. A smile is a small curve that makes everything straight. So always smile and love. Where is the time to hate? Let's start lesson 2. Rohit's school. Rohit loves going to school. He is a quiet and intelligent boy. He loves to read storybooks. He is very fond of reading stories from the Panchatantra. He is in class 2nd. He is sitting in his chair in the class. His teacher enters the class. All students stand and wish the teacher. She responds and asks the students to take their seat. Rohit's notebook is spick and span. His work is also very neat. He always stands first in class. He dresses up neatly. All the teachers are very fond of him because of his clean habit. Apart from being good in studies, Rohit is also good at drawing. He has won many prizes in drawing competition. Suddenly the bell rings for lunch break and the students run out to have their tiffins. Rohit's friends finish their lunch and play for a while. After lunch break, the students are back in their classroom. After some time, the bell rings again and it's time to go home. The students line up to board the bus. Rohit reaches home. He takes off his bag and sits on the sofa. His mother asks him how the day was. Rohit replies, as usual, Mom, you know I love school. His mother replies, that's like a good boy. Let's start lesson 3. Banyan Tree. Ginny and Ria were two children who lived near a forest. One hot day, they used to go to the forest and rest under a banyan tree. The tree was the home of many birds. Ginny and Ria played hide and seek around it and enjoyed watching the birds. Once, Ginny and Ria saw 3 strangers. They had 3 iron axes with them. How far is the forest from here? One man asked to Ginny. What will these men do with the axes? Let's find out, Ginny said to Ria. Soon they heard a noise, thug, thug, thug. The strangers were cutting down the banyan trees in the forest. Stop that, Ria shouted. Why are you cutting these trees? Go away, children, shouted one of the men. Ginny and Ria wanted to stop the strangers but were helpless. Let's call our teacher for help, said Ginny. They ran to their teacher's house and told him the whole story. He became very upset. He went to the school and rang the school bell loudly. The villagers were surprised to hear the school bell ringing on a holiday. They hurried to the school. Now the girls with the teacher and the villagers reached the forest. Stop! You can't cut down that tree, the villagers shouted. The 3 men got scared, left their axes behind and ran away as fast as they could. Ginny and Ria had saved the banyan tree. Let's start lesson 4. What is pink? What is pink? A rose is pink by the mountain's brink. What is red? A poppy is red in its barley bed. What is blue? The sky is blue where the clouds float through. What is white? A swan is white sailing in the light. What is yellow? Pears are yellow, rich and ripe are mellow. What is green? The grass is green with small flowers in between. What is violet? Clouds are violet in the summer twilight. What is orange? Why an orange? Just an orange. Let's start lesson 5. A lazy boy. Once there was a boy. He lived with his parents in a small town. His name was Kunal. His father was a potter. He wanted his son to become an officer. So, instead of his low income, he sent him to a good school. Kunal was a lazy boy. He did not like to go to school. He was not interested in studies. He liked to play around in the garden. He very often ran away from the school. He spent his time in the street, often playing with some of his friends. His parents were unhappy with him. They wanted him to study hard and stand first in the class. One morning, his father sent him to the school. As per his routine, in spite of going to the school, he decided to go to the garden. It was a bright and sunny morning. The birds were singing. Songs and enjoying the day. Butterflies were flying from one plant to another, enjoying the nectar from the flowers. Kunal was feeling really happy to be away from his school. He was looking the beautiful flies moving from one flower to another. He saw a bee and went towards it. Kunal, dear bee, you are so beautiful. Will you play with me? Bee, oh no, I cannot play with you. Kunal, why can't you play with me? Bee, I am very busy. I have to gather honey for the coming winter. I have no time to play. Then Kunal saw a small bird with a piece of straw in its beak. Kunal, hey little bird, you are so sweet. Will you come and play with me? Little bird, no, I don't have extra time. I have to make my nest complete as the winter season is coming. After saying this, the little bird flew away. Kunal then saw some ants running with grains of rice towards their hole. Kunal, dear ant, come on, stay with me for some time. We shall play together. Ant, sorry dear, we have to gather food for ourselves. Winter is round the corner and we don't have even a single minute to play. If we play now, we would die of hunger in the winter season. The ants moved towards their hole quickly. When he was roaming in the garden, he saw a dog. He decided to ask the dog, Kunal, dear doggy, you are a fine dog. Please come and play with me. Dog, sorry dear, I have to guard my master's house. I must run fast, otherwise thieves would get into my master's house. Then my master would punish me. Kunal felt ashamed and thought that there is no one else idle except him. If the bees, birds, ants and dog are so busy, why I am not busy? Why I am so lazy? Saying so, he ran towards the school. He had now made up his mind not to waste his time sitting idle. Thereafter, he read his lessons and solved the sums carefully. He stood first in the class. Now he was praised by all the teachers in the school. His parents felt proud of his achievements. Later, he progressed in his life and became an army officer. Let's start lesson 6, The Frog of the Well. Once upon a time, a bonzo frog lived in a well. He was a small frog. He had some friends there. He used to jump from one corner to another. He also swam in the well water. Bonzo frog had not seen the world outside the well. His world was small. The sea was not very far from the well. One day, a big frog of the sea came there. It sat on the parapet of the well. Bonzo frog was afraid to see this big frog. He said to the big frog, "Who are you? From where did you come?" The big frog replied, "I have come from the sea." Bonzo frog asked, "What is the sea?" The big frog answered, "The sea is a very big place full of water. You can jump freely to far places near the sea. Come one day and have fun." Next day, a washerman's wife came to the well to fetch water. When she lowered the pitcher into the well, Bonzo frog jumped into her pitcher. Thus it reached the washerman's house. There it jumped into a bundle of dirty clothes. Next morning, the washerman took the bundle of dirty clothes to the sea. There he untied his bundle for washing. The frog hopped out. Bonzo Frog saw a vast area of water. He jumped freely here and there. He was much happy and excited. He played with the big frogs. Bonzo Frog could see huge ships floating in the sea. There were a lot of people along the sea. They were enjoying cool breeze and the sight of waves. There were fishermen throwing their nets. He said to himself, "How nice place it is. I will stay here forever and enjoy." After some time, Bonzo Frog got hungry. There were no small insects around the sea. There were only big insects all around. He could not catch big insects. Bonzo Frog wished to go back to the well. He could get plenty of insects to eat there. He had some friends in the well. They were small frogs like him. One day he had once jumped into the washerman's washed bundle. Thus he reached the washerman's house. There he entered the pitcher. The washerman's wife took the pitcher to the well. She lowered her pitcher into the well to fetch water. Bonzo Frog hopped out of the pitcher. He was back home now. He said to himself, "This well is my sweet home. I am safe here. I have plenty of food here. I have friends here. I will never leave my home." Let's start Lesson 7, Kite Flying. Ravi and Raja saw their uncles flying kites, so they wanted to fly kites as well. But they did not know how to fly kites. Ravi went to Raja's father and asked him to teach them how to fly kites. "Certainly," came the reply. "But first you should learn how to make a kite," said Raja's father. They went to the market and purchased kite paper, bamboo sticks, splinter, gum and thread. In this way, Ravi and Raja learned how to make kites. After the kite was ready, Raja's father taught them how to fly the kite. Once the kite picked up flight, Raja's father entangled his kite with another and cut it. Ravi and Raja were happy to see this. Now, Raja and Ravi have become experts in kite making and kite flying. They both enjoy making and flying kites. Let's start Lesson 8. Forgiving is not very hard. Marty loved his brother, but his brother made him mad. He seemed to keep on doing things that Marty felt bad. He took his radio outside and never brought it back. He ate the cookie which Marty wanted to have for a snack. He changed the TV channel in the middle of a show. He pulled a wagon full of dirt right over Marty's toe. Now Marty held a grudge, which means he kept on being mad. He kept on being angry at his little brother Brad. And every time his brother Brad came hoping to have fun, Marty complained about the bad things his brother had done. Marty refused to play with him because he held a grudge. Brad said that he was sorry, but still Marty wouldn't budge. Brad tried and tried to make amends to get Marty to play, but Marty said, "I am mad at you and you should go away." So finally, Brad gave up. He went outside to play alone, and Marty watched him from the window playing on his own. Brad kicked the ball around the yard while looking very sad. Then Marty thought, what did Brad do that really was so bad? He did say he was sorry, but Marty would not forgive, and now his angry grudge affected his brother's life. They both were quite unhappy and they both were all alone. Marty learned just how wrong he was to have a heart of stone. He started feeling sorry for the things that he had done. He hoped Brad would forgive him so they both could have some fun. He forgot all the bad things Brad had ever done before, and being with his brother seemed to matter so much more. So Marty went outside and found Brad underneath a tree. He said, "I'm sorry, Brad. Do you think you can forgive me?" Then Brad said, "Forgive you? I thought that you were mad at me." They both forgave each other. It was such a sight to see. They kicked the ball together and had fun out in the yard. They learned that forgiving each other is not very hard. It does no good to hold a grudge or push others away. It's best to put the past behind and make a better day. But then Brad kicked the ball and it hit Marty in the head. Brad thought that he would be mad again. His face was turning red, but Brad said he was sorry. "That's okay. I guess we are lucky. I learned to forgive you today." Let's start Lesson 9, Winter Nights. Blow, wind, blow. Drift the flying snow. Send it twirling, whirling overhead. There is a bedroom in a tree. Where snug can be, the squirrel nest in his cozy bed. Cold wind sold, so bitter and so bold. Shake the windows with your tap tap tap. With half shut dreamy eyes, the drowsy baby lies, cuddled close in his mother's lap. Let's start Lesson 10, Good Deed. Once upon a time, Mohit and Ankit were two good friends. They were students of the same school. They were also the best swimmers of the school. Mohit had won the swimming competition of the school this year. One day they went to play cricket. After playing cricket, they felt tired and decided to go back home. While they were returning home, they saw that some people were standing near a pond. Some people were taking bath there. Women were washing clothes near the pond. All the women were busy in washing clothes. Their children were also playing games near the pond. Suddenly, one of the children fell into the pond. People started shouting, "Save the child!" On hearing the sound, the mother of the child came to know that it was her child. She shouted loudly and cried for help. The boy was drowning. Listening to her cries, more people gathered at the spot. She was looking helpless as no one was coming forward for her help. All of a sudden, Mohit heard her cries. When he saw the boy drowning in the pond, he jumped into the pond at once. He reached the boy and picked up the boy. Then he brought the boy back to the bank. All the people were surprised to see the scene. They praised Mohit for the good deed. The boy's mother blessed and thanked Mohit for the help. Her husband was at home. She took him at her home. When her husband listened the whole story, he felt very happy and thanked Mohit for his kind deed. He also rewarded the boy and gave him a toy as present. When Mohit's father heard about the event, he felt very proud of his son. From that day, Mohit was respected more by all the people of the village. Let's start Lesson 11, The Shoemaker and the Elves. Once there was a shoemaker called Rex. He lived with his wife Mary. Mary used to help him in different things. At night, Rex and Mary were talking to each other. Rex, last piece of leather and no money left. How will we buy food? Mary, God will help us. Don't worry, Rex. After cutting the last pair of shoes that night, Rex went to bed. He got a surprise the next morning when he saw something special. Rex, Mary, Mary, look at this. A new pair of shoes, shining bright. Mary, this pair is very beautiful. I knew that everything would be alright. God is great. Rex sold the shoes in the market and bought more leather with the money. that he got from the sale of the shoes. The same thing happened again on the next night. He cut the leather for the shoes and found them stitched next morning. This happened every day. After a few days, Rex and Mary talked about the event. Rex, let us hide today and find out who does the stitching of the shoes for us. That night, they hid themselves behind the door and waited. Soon they saw 5 elves entering the room. They were carrying small cobbler's tool along with them. The elves danced and sang as they sat down to work. Elves were talking to each other. We are the 5 busy elves. We like to help the needy people. We like to feed every poor body except the ones who are greedy. The elves finished the stitching of the shoes and went away. Mary, such kind little people. I will make some clothes for them to say thank you. The next night, when the elves reached the house, they were amazed to find 5 sets of beautiful clothes in place of the leather. They put on the clothes. Happily and danced all night. Rex and his wife never forgot the kind elves. Let's start lesson 12. Welcome spring. Under the ground in my little brown shell, rain and sun will make me swell. Sharp green shoot is beginning to show. I think at last I'm starting to grow. Slowly I'm getting tall. Watch out wind in case I fall. At side are leaves of green and thin with a bud between. Long that bud opens and petals unfold. Daffodil flower with a trumpet of gold.